As October deepens, the days may be getting shorter and the air a bit cooler in some places, but over the Atlantic Ocean, the story is far from over. The skies above the tropics are still alive with energy, and the atmosphere remains primed for dramatic changes. The Atlantic hurricane season is still very much alive, with storms continuing to develop and move across the ocean. Even though the calendar says fall, the tropics don't always follow the same rules as the land. The date, October 6, 2025, reminds us that powerful storms can still form, fueled by warm ocean waters that haven't yet cooled off. These warm waters act like fuel for hurricanes, giving them the energy they need to grow stronger, even late in the season. That's why meteorologists are closely monitoring the Atlantic, from the Caribbean all the way to the coast of Africa. They're watching for any signs that conditions are ripe for development, using advanced technology and years of experience to track every disturbance. History has shown us that even after September's peak, October storms can be just as dangerous, sometimes even more so. Past hurricanes in October have brought devastating winds, heavy rain, and dangerous storm surges to coastal communities. The message is clear: don't let your guard down just because the busiest month has passed. Now is the time to stay alert, review your hurricane plan, and make sure your emergency supplies are fully stocked and ready to go. Keep up with reliable weather updates from trusted sources, whether it's on TV, your smartphone, or local radio. Staying informed can make all the difference when a storm is approaching. The latest weather patterns suggest that more activity is likely in the coming weeks. Meteorologists are seeing signs of increased storm development, so preparedness is more important than ever. Our team is here to keep you informed with the latest updates, forecasts, and safety tips as the season continues. We're committed to helping you stay safe and prepared. Remember, readiness now is your best defense before any storm gets a name. Take action today, and you'll be ready for whatever the tropics may bring. As we enter a particularly active stretch of the Atlantic hurricane season, our attention is drawn to two distinct weather systems currently developing over the Atlantic basin. These two systems are on our radar for very different reasons, and both have the potential to impact communities in their paths. Let's break down what we know so far and what you should be watching for in the coming days. The first system is a broad area of low pressure situated over the Gulf of Mexico. This system is already producing widespread heavy rainfall across the Gulf Coast, drenching cities and rural areas alike. While meteorologists do not expect this disturbance to organize into a named tropical storm, it's important not to underestimate its effects. The primary threat from this Gulf system is flooding. Persistent downpours are causing water to rise quickly on roads and in low-lying neighborhoods, leading to hazardous travel conditions and the potential for flash floods. Even without strong winds or a formal storm name, the risk to property and safety is real. Meanwhile, farther out in the central Atlantic, we're closely monitoring Invest 95L. Unlike the Gulf system, Invest 95L is moving through an environment that is much more conducive to tropical development, with warm sea surface temperatures and low wind shear. Forecast models suggest that Invest 95L could strengthen into a tropical storm in the near future. Its projected path is drawing concern, as it could eventually threaten the Caribbean islands and possibly the U.S. East Coast. Residents in these areas should pay close attention to updates, as the system's track and intensity could change rapidly. To keep tabs on both systems, meteorologists are relying on a combination of radar data for the Gulf disturbance and satellite imagery for Invest 95L. This dual approach allows for real-time monitoring of rainfall, storm organization, and potential changes in direction or strength. It's crucial to remember that even systems that never reach hurricane or even tropical storm status can still bring dangerous impacts. Flooding, high surf, and coastal erosion are all possible, especially with slow-moving or broad systems like the one in the Gulf. If you live along the Gulf Coast, now is the time to prepare for possible flooding, clear drains, secure outdoor items, and have an emergency plan in place. For those farther east, especially in the Caribbean and along the U.S. East Coast, keep a close eye on Invest 95L's progress and be ready to act if forecasts change. The dynamic and unpredictable nature of hurricane season means that conditions can evolve quickly. What starts as a weak disturbance can intensify rapidly, so staying informed is your best defense. We'll continue to monitor both systems closely and provide you with the latest updates as new information becomes available. Stay tuned, stay prepared, and stay safe as we navigate this active period together. From southeastern Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle, expect a wet week ahead. A slow-moving low in the Gulf is set to dump several inches of rain, raising the risk of flash flooding. This isn't a wind event, just persistent, heavy downpours that can quickly overwhelm drainage systems. Never drive through flooded roads. Just a few inches of water can be dangerous. The ground is already saturated from previous storms, increasing flood risk. This shows how even unnamed systems can disrupt daily life. Stay alert to local advisories and prioritize safety. Flooding, not wind, is the main threat. Take it seriously. Many wonder why the Gulf system, despite heavy rain, isn't becoming a tropical storm. The answer? Strong upper-level wind shear and dry air are preventing organization. Wind shear acts like a fan, tearing apart the system's structure before it can strengthen. Dry air chokes off the storm's energy, further weakening it. Without a well-defined center or vertical structure, it remains a disorganized rainmaker. Forecasters expect these hostile conditions to persist. The threat is limited to heavy rain and flooding, not wind. Tropical forecasting is complex. It's about more than just warm water. Now let's turn to the central Atlantic, where Invest 95L is drawing concern. This tropical wave is moving west over very warm waters and faces low wind shear, ideal for development. The National Hurricane Center gives it a high chance of becoming a tropical depression or storm soon. Satellite imagery shows growing organization and rotation. If it strengthens, it will be named Jerry. Residents in the Caribbean and southeastern U.S. should monitor this system closely. The Lesser Antilles could feel its effects within days. Now is the time to review your hurricane preparedness plan. Let's look closer at Invest 95L. Invest means the system is under special investigation for potential development. Conditions, warm water, moisture, and light winds, are prime for it to become a tropical depression or storm. The chance of formation is over 70% in the next 5 days. If named, it will be Jerry, the 10th storm of the season. The immediate concern is for the Lesser Antilles, which could see heavy rain and strong winds. Beyond that, the system could threaten a wider area, including Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and the U.S. Southeast. Early preparation is key. Don't wait for a name to get ready. Stay alert and monitor official forecasts. Where is this potential storm headed? That's the question on everyone's mind as we watch the swirling clouds over the Atlantic. With each new satellite image, meteorologists and weather enthusiasts alike are eager to know. Will this system become a threat? And if so, to whom? It's too early for certainty, but computer models give us our best early clues. These models are sophisticated simulations that use current atmospheric data, ocean temperatures, and wind patterns to predict where the storm might go. While no model is perfect, they help us gauge the risks and prepare for what could come. Right now, most models show a west to west-northwest track, suggesting the storm could approach the Lesser Antilles in the coming days. These spaghetti plots you see on the screen represent different model solutions, each line a possible path the storm could take. The clustering of these lines gives us more confidence in the general direction, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. After that, the storm's path will depend heavily on the strength of a high-pressure ridge to the north and any approaching troughs from the west. These large-scale weather features act like steering currents, guiding the storm along its journey. If the ridge remains strong, it could block the storm from turning north, forcing it to continue westward. In that scenario, a strong ridge could push the storm toward the Greater Antilles or even the Bahamas, increasing the risk for those islands. Residents there should be especially vigilant, as even a slight shift in the steering currents could make a big difference in the storm's eventual path. On the other hand, if the ridge weakens or a trough digs in from the west, the storm might find an opening to curve northward, potentially sparing the islands but bringing new concerns for areas farther north. Some of the more reliable models even suggest a possible turn away from the U.S. mainland, but the timing and location of that turn remain highly uncertain. Small changes in the atmosphere can have big impacts on where the storm ends up. That's why meteorologists emphasize the cone of uncertainty. 5-day forecasts can be off by more than 200 miles in any direction, so it's important not to focus on a single forecast line. The cone shows where the center of the storm could go, but impacts can be felt far outside that area. Everyone in the Eastern Caribbean, the Bahamas, and along the U.S. East Coast should pay close attention to updates. Even if you're not in the direct path, changes in the forecast can happen quickly, and it's better to be prepared than caught off guard. As the system organizes and strengthens, the forecast will become clearer. Check for updates at least once a day, and more often if you're in a potential impact zone. Reliable information from trusted sources is your best tool for staying safe. Don't let your guard down. Tropical systems can change rapidly, sometimes in just a few hours. Stay alert, stay informed, and be ready to act if the forecast shifts in your direction. Wind shear is a key factor in storm development. It's the change in wind speed or direction with height in the atmosphere. Low wind shear lets storms grow vertically and strengthen, like Invest 95L is doing now. High wind shear, as in the Gulf, tilts and disrupts storms, preventing them from organizing. This is why the Gulf system is just a rainmaker, while Invest 95L could become a hurricane. Both warm water and a cooperative atmosphere are needed for storm formation. We'll keep monitoring wind shear for both systems. Understanding wind shear helps explain why some storms thrive and others fall apart. With hurricane season active, now's the time to review your safety plan. Stay informed with reliable sources like the National Hurricane Center and local weather alerts. Prepare a supply kit with food, water, medications, flashlights, and important documents. Know your evacuation zone and plan where you'll go if needed. Include pets in your preparations and discuss your plan with family. Ready your home, check shutters, secure loose items, and have plywood for windows. Don't wait until the last minute to act. Roads and shelters fill quickly. Preparation, not panic, is key to safety. Simple steps now can protect your family and property. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep up with the latest updates.